Do you go and go and go and do and do and do, filling your days with the many tasks and to-dos, perhaps the roles you play in your life, the responsibilities that you have, that you're obligated to take precedence over what I call the pause? And I'm asking this question on today because I recently embarked on a new project called Awake In, which is a newsletter and a creative space found on my website, kissiahyoung.com, that encourages people, including myself, we have to start with ourselves, to pause and go within, to pause and access what's happening in the moment. It's how we manage anxiety and stress and overwhelm. It's how we show up present for the people around us. It's how we show up present for ourselves and what we need. Because when we're constantly on the go, almost from this place of autopilot, we're just so used to going, we don't even pay attention to the street we're on, the lights. We're just moving. We're on autopilot. We're doing the same thing again and again. And when we move through our lives that way, we're not awake to the fullness of who we are. And there are many things that we end up taking for granted or not paying attention to that eventually comes back around as a headache. Somehow we convince ourselves that we'll get around to it. One day I'll. It's like the island of one day. One day I'll carve out some time to reflect. One day I'll take that vacation, but right now I have so much work to do. As if that one day is promised, as if time is standing still waiting for us to make room and space for it, and it isn't. And I think with me, what's happening is the older I get, the more conscious I become of time and how it's the one thing we do not get back. How I do not possess infinite amounts of time, nor do you. That our time in this life is finite. It has an end date. Or in healthcare, you will often hear expiration. The person has expired. We will expire one day. So today, while we're still living and breathing inside this lifetime, this human experience, what will it take to pause and pay ourselves some attention? When was the last time you picked up a book and read it for leisure? Or maybe a needle and thread or the crocheting kit. When was the last time you took that walk and you lost yourself in time? Or you stayed on the phone with someone you hadn't spoken with for a while and you really allowed yourself to be absorbed in that conversation in the moment? When was the last time you took a nap? Or slept in? This is what I mean by the pause, where we recognize that in this capitalist society, this world of consumerism, that it's important to do less. We think productivity, I need to produce, I need to do this, I need to. No. And not that we just chuck all things, no. But if we do not cultivate a pause, then we end up losing what's most important, which is access to the truth of who we are, being able to hear our voice within, being able to connect with our feelings, our emotions, our hearts, to pay attention to the body and what it's telling us, what's happening with it. When we're going and going, we miss that. It's like the difference between driving your car down the street and walking down that same street. You see more on foot. The walk cultivates a pause where you can look around and notice things you've not noticed before because you've just been driving by. And not only that, you've been driving by on autopilot. It happens to all of us. And that's why giving thought to the pause is important. I want to invite you to set a timer for 3 minutes. Get yourself somewhere. You could even be in your car, not driving. Please be parked. Okay? Get yourself somewhere. Set a timer for 3 minutes. Close your eyes and just breathe. It's okay if your thoughts think. You're not trying to quiet your mind. You're just pausing to breathe for 3 minutes. Be with yourself in that time. Experience the quiet. Listen to the sound of your breath. Feel the sensation of your heart beating. 3 minutes. And when the bell sounds, indicating your time is up, ask yourself how that felt. What does it feel like to carve out 3 quiet minutes for yourself, where there's nothing for you to do other than be with yourself, for yourself, to belong unto yourself? What is that like? Maybe you found that you wanted more time. It feels good to just be. But many of us, we don't know that because we've not allowed ourselves to just be. We think that there's always something more we could be doing. Perhaps there will always be something more we could do, but do we always have to be on the side of doing more things? Especially considering our time here is finite. And that being able to know ourselves well and better, to show up and smile and hug people around us, that actually, those things mean more than, let me cross the other thing off of my list. You may feel very accomplished, but how are you feeling deep within yourself? When all goes quiet and the room is dark, how content are you with your own company? How free do you feel within yourself when there's nothing to do? Do you feel like you're missing out? That you're behind? That you're slacking? The pause is just as, if not more important. Because at the end of our lives, I don't think we're going to miss not having worked harder. We think about, how was time spent? Was my time well spent? Did I cultivate connections from the inside out? Did I spend time with my child, with my mother, my father, my sister, my friend, my brother, my pet? Did I sit and linger longer, or was everything expedited because there's so much to do? Those are things that the pause allow us to enter into. The pause reminds us that we are more than the tasks and the to-dos, that our lives have value in this very invisible kind of way, where you do not see productivity blast like it's a part of a neon light flashing in the skies. Productivity, productivity, no. The pause is that inner, potent, quiet stillness that points us toward the deeper, more meaningful moments that matter the most. So today, I want you to join me in cultivating the pause, that we're present with ourselves, and not from a role and responsibility place, not from a place of obligation, but from a place of presence, where joy bubbles, where an inner light shines, where the quiet is cultivated and connection comes forth. Maybe you'll continue setting your alarm, giving yourself 3 minutes. Maybe the 3 minutes will become 5 and then 8. Maybe you'll fall in love with the quiet of time spent well with yourself. You deserve that. I deserve that. And it's something that we are actually responsible for cultivating. It doesn't come from the outside in, it comes from the inside out. I invite you to join me in the pause.